Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Web is unfortunately bombing. At the very least in the first social media reactions. Now, the review embargo very clearly is really the day of release, I'm guessing, because we don't have any official reviews being released yet. We've just got social media reactions, which means review embargo is probably day of release. And the social media reactions are terrible. In fact, laughably, some people are saying that Morbius is better. Boy howdy. No, look, I mean, ultimately, this is not a byproduct of, women in films. It's women in films being poorly directed with poorly written characters. That's, of course, what it is. So this isn't like a random video on a hate train of women in general. It's, you've got to write people better. You've got to create better art, better media. And do a service to your actors. All these people signed on probably under the pretense that they're going to be joining Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not that you would want to these days, but still. And they've been hard done by through and through. So it is what it is. Just, read the script a little bit more, I guess. But I'll dive into this today. Hit subscribe if you are new here, folks. Turn the bell notifications on and follow me over on Twitter at Missed8Reviews. And please do as well consider becoming a member or a Patreon of the channel. Links to that are down below in the description box. But like I said, we've got some of the social media reactions here. We'll take a look on Twitter as well. But it's not good. I myself, just as an FYI, I will be watching this tomorrow. I actually can't wait, just because I think the memes are going to be good. I think it's a meme-worthy movie. So I'm going to watch it tomorrow and bring you my review. So at least there's that. So here we go. 3C Films. Chris Parker says Madam Web is an embarrassing mess. Talented stars wasted on probably the worst comic book movie I have ever seen. Filled with atrocious dialogue, awkward editing, and all-round laughable structure. I sat there baffled, scene by scene. Someone approved this. The memes will redeem it. And someone said this. Followed up with a little bit more addition. Said, well, I was disappointed. See the movie for yourself and form your own opinion. Which is true, Don't take any of this as the gospel. Of course, don't. I've never said take any of these things as true. But it says, to you, some of the good may outweigh the bad. Things I like, Dakota Johnson's humour. The early 2000s aesthetic. Because apparently it is set in the 90s. Apparently. Because this was going to be set in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe, randomly. The early 2000s aesthetic. Spider-Girls sing, dance to Britney Spears' Toxic. And it's Slade. Any man saying Slade is always a bit sus to me. And Adam Scott. Yeah. I would have thought seeing Sydney Sweeney in a very tight, sort of shiny outfit would have been a plus. But never mind. So we got this from James Preston Poole. It says, Madam Web is totally fine. There's really not a lot to say here. The leads are charming. Dakota Johnson is a witchy weirdo. The slasher, Final Destination meets superheroes vibes are there. But there's just not a whole lot to it. Not a disaster, just kind of there. I would argue, if that is the case, just FYI, that's actually sometimes, the worst type of movies, that it just exists and it doesn't elicit any emotional response. The worst media can be is boring. Genuinely. The worst media can be is boring. The Hollywood Handle says, Madam Web is a clunky, poorly written, messy and sloppy movie packed with some mediocre editing and performances. Even though it had solid cinematography, an interesting concept, it couldn't be saved due to its terrible execution. Full review dropping at 9 AM. So, yeah, it looks like embargoed. Yeah, it looks like it has been embargoed for day of release. So that's what, today then, I guess, isn't it? At some point. So day before release. Follow James Preston Poole. Have they put that in twice? I think they have, yeah. Never mind. Kevin says, Madam Web exceeds expectations. Interesting. Some of the dialogue is cheesy AF, some heavy-handed product placement, and probably could have been tidied up a bit more. But the cast really work magic with what they had. Their chemistry is a lot of fun, and the suits look great. There are some huge missteps with Madam Web from a story comic perspective. As someone who has every variant cover of The Other and Spider-Verse, Ezekiel over Morlan is a huge L, and continues the issue I have with much of Sony's Spider-Man adjacent films. But compared to Morbius, that worked better than I thought it would. Some people are saying it's literally Morbius, worse than Morbius, so... I was not, unfortunately, successfully entertained. Madam Web is a series of misses and wasted opportunities, and not just for obvious reasons. Madam Web is yet another disappointing entry in Sony Universe. Dakota Johnson is a standout, but unfortunately, that's not the case for the rest of the cast. Not as bad as I expected it to be, but it sadly falls short of what could have been a decent movie. There's a little bit more here, actually. Let's have a look. Oh, is that it? Okay, fine. It says 2 of 5. There's no more. Alright, whatever. Britt says, unfortunately for me, Madam Web lacked the spark it needed in nearly every department. Writing, acting, action sequences. There are a few good moments with an excellent overall pacing, but geez, was this hard to get through. Tub of popcorn tomorrow for me then. Extra large. I watched Madam Web and it was bad. I tried to give it a chance, but sadly the poor execution didn't help. The cast was awesome, but the performances were definitely disappointing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let me have a look at this again, because it does say 2 of 5. Is there no more? Really? Why does it say 2 of 5? Oh, 2 out of 5. Oh my god, I feel like a dunce. Never mind. It says this, not gonna lie, I lied. What is it? Oh. Oh. I think they... Yeah. I think they think, yeah, okay, never mind. Anyway, this isn't good. General response isn't particularly great. So, Madam Web is the movie I've waited all my life. I laughed, I cried, I cheered like hell. Was it good? Not at all. It was awful. And at times genuinely angered me. But this latest Sony-verse adventure shows there's still some life in the movies. Marvel is saving cinema. What the fuck? Ah, dear oh dear. I like all the memes. Madam Web is the best comic book movie since The Dark Knight. Such incredible acting, writing and editing. There will be a before and an after Madam Web. My God. My God. I can't tell what's a legit review versus the memes. Can you? That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. The only reason to watch Madam Web. Yep. Yep, would agree, probably, to be fair. Anyway, this... hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Super, super funny. Super, super funny. There you go. There's not really anything else to say, to be fair. It's... The reviews are awful. First reactions are awful. The reviews online will be even worse. Not good. But funny nonetheless, and I'll bring you my review tomorrow. So I can't wait, personally. Also, FYI, this is Sydney Sweeney. Look how ugly they made her. What are you doing? What are you doing? Did you, like, clamp those things down or something? Anyway, I had to throw that in there. Anyway, hit subscribe if you're new here. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.